Harassment and discrimination of workers due to their gender identity has become a serious legal concern in today's workplace. The U.S. EEOC has defined bias against employees due to their gender identity as illegal based on sex discrimination. Additionally, 50% of state governments and numerous city and local governments also have provided legal protections. It's become imperative that all employers provide training on harassment and discrimination prevention that includes gender identity. Training for gender identity harassment helps provide companies with legal protection, but it also promotes a tolerant and more inclusive workplace that attracts a greater pool of talented employees. Gender identity discrimination occurs when a person is treated differently in the workplace or negative employment action is taken against them because of their gender expression or gender identity. The following are examples of gender identity discrimination. Requiring an employee to use a bathroom that doesn't conform to their gender identity. Refusing access to workplace bathroom facilities available to other employees. Continuing to refer to a transgender individual by the wrong pronoun in a manner that expresses hostility. Terminating employees after discovering their gender identity or hearing of a planned transition. Allowing discrimination by coworkers and supervisors. Failing to investigate harassment claims because of an employee's gender identity. Forcing an employee to wear a male or female uniform if the employee identifies as the opposite gender. Requiring an employee to wear clothing appropriate to the gender they were assigned at birth rather than their gender identity. Terminating an employee for cross-dressing away from work. Not hiring an applicant because they are transgender. Giving a lower-paying position or compensating a transgender employee less than equally qualified employees. Denying pay raises, promotions, or training opportunities to an employee because of their gender identity or gender expression. Making sexualized observations, derogatory remarks, jokes, or threats. Evaluating employees more rigidly or holding them to a higher or different work standard because of their gender expression. Reprimanding a transgender employee for something non-transgender employees do but for which they are never disciplined. Subjecting transgender workers to sexual requests, verbal harassment, or physical assault. Create policies that allow transgender employees the right to safely use the restroom for the gender with which they identify. If possible, create gender-neutral bathrooms. Eliminate discriminatory health insurance exclusions and adopt health insurance coverage for transgender-related care. Incorporate information and education about gender identity into equal employment opportunity compliance training programs. Explain current state policies, guidelines, and proposed bills and the likelihood of these policies becoming law if they aren't currently. Create a formal non-discrimination policy and display it on work premises and on the company website to let both current and potential employees know they are welcome. Use preferred pronouns when speaking about transgender employees. Make sure that all employee discrimination complaints are taken seriously. Although employers may be required to use legal names for official purposes, it should be clear to transgender employees that they may use their preferred name and are free to assume their gender identity. Change all personnel records, directories, business cards, and emails to reflect a transitioning employee's name and gender. Create dress codes that are gender-neutral and allow transgender employees to dress in accordance with their gender presentation. Protect employee privacy by only releasing gender identity information with employee consent. The EEOC has already settled numerous cases in favor of transgender employees. Companies that fail to protect employees from gender identity discrimination could face civil lawsuits and litigation filed by the EEOC. Additionally, organizations that violate the law run the risk of damage to their reputation through media reports, social media, and word of mouth. Employees who violate the law are subject to disciplinary action up to and including termination. Every employee deserves a safe, comfortable environment at work that is free from harassment and discrimination. Companies who protect their workers from discrimination based on their gender identity and gender expression are more efficient and productive and attract a larger, more talented pool of employees. Taking steps to treat all employees fairly and equally will not only protect employers from liability, it will make their organization more productive and successful.